BTS's Jin has just landed in Korea, but the scene that unfolded at the airport was nothing short of unprecedented. A moment so unexpected that even the most devoted armies were left speechless. Why did his arrival trigger such an intense reaction? And what detail at the terminal caused whispers to spread faster than the sound of his footsteps? The instant he appeared through the arrival gates, a chain of events began that no one could have foreseen, raising questions that demand answers. Witnesses described the atmosphere as both electrifying and unsettling. Security presence was heavier than usual, yet it wasn't merely the number of guards that drew attention. Eyes immediately locked on Jin, his expression, his attire, and even the way he moved, as if every element carried a hidden message. For those who have followed his every public appearance, this was not his usual airport demeanor. Something was different, deliberate, and perhaps calculated. From the moment he emerged, camera flashes erupted like lightning. Yet behind the wave of excitement was a silent undercurrent of confusion. Many who stood there claimed they had been expecting a casual return, perhaps even a brief smile or wave, but instead, they were met with a composure that was almost unreadable. It was as though Jin had stepped into the terminal with a singular purpose, one that was not to be immediately revealed. This silence spoke louder than any words, sparking speculation that his landing in Korea was connected to something far larger than a routine schedule. Observers quickly noted subtle but striking details. Jin's outfit was monochrome, sharp and minimal, devoid of the playful touches often seen in his casual travel looks. Around his wrist was a single accessory, a watch that some fans instantly recognized from a past significant event, igniting theories that its reappearance was no coincidence. His walk was steady, but his gaze seemed fixed, scanning the crowd with precision, almost as though he was searching for a specific face or confirming a detail only he knew. What amplified the tension was the reaction of those accompanying him. His team appeared unusually alert, frequently signaling to one another while keeping formation around him. This was no ordinary celebrity escort. It felt almost strategic, as if they were anticipating an unplanned occurrence. In several moments, they subtly redirected photographers, creating gaps in coverage, a move that only deepened the sense that something was being shielded from public view. The mystery heightened when Jin paused briefly before entering the vehicle awaiting him. It was just seconds, but enough to cause a ripple in the gathered crowd. He glanced upward, not at the media, but seemingly toward a point in the distance. Some swear he mouthed a word, others believe he simply took in the moment. Whatever it was, it added an inexplicable weight to an already charged atmosphere. Was this a silent acknowledgement to someone watching? Or a personal gesture marking the start or end of something significant? Social media erupted within minutes of his departure from the airport. Videos were replayed frame by frame, with fans dissecting every detail: his clothing, his expression, his choice of accessories, even the sequence of his steps. One theory suggests he has returned for a high-level, undisclosed meeting, possibly related to an upcoming project. Another speculates that the arrival marks the beginning of a tightly coordinated event that will soon be revealed. The lack of any official scheduling to this trip has only fueled the intrigue. Adding to the speculation is the timing. His landing comes after a series of overseas appearances that carried their own share of surprises. Those events, while seemingly unconnected, now appear to form a pattern when viewed in hindsight. Could this be the culmination of a plan set in motion months ago? If so, why choose now, and why Korea as the stage for this next chapter? For those present at the terminal, one detail remains etched in memory: the silence that followed his exit. After the rush of camera shutters and shouts from fans, there was an almost eerie stillness, as though everyone realized they had witnessed something historic without yet understanding why. That pause, That vacuum of clarity is what has left thousands debating online. Piecing together clues from images and video snippets, the questions are as urgent as they are unanswered. Why did Jin's team employ such an unusual level of coordination? What significance lies in the understated but deliberate elements of his appearance? And most importantly, what will happen next? The fact that nothing has been officially stated only magnifies the anticipation, keeping fans and media alike in a state of heightened alert. One thing is certain: Jin's return to Korea was no ordinary homecoming. It was an event layered with symbolism, intentionality, and a tension that refuses to dissipate. Whether the truth will emerge in hours, days, or weeks is unknown. But until it does, this single landing will remain one of the most talked about moments in recent memory, a spark that has ignited a firestorm of speculation, and perhaps the opening move in a much larger game. The arrival of BTS's Jin in Korea continues to dominate conversations across multiple platforms, yet an unsettling question lingers. How much of what the public has seen is authentic, and how much might be the product of deliberate staging? This is not a matter to be dismissed lightly. When a figure of Jin's stature steps into a space as public and symbolically charged as an international airport, every movement is recorded, dissected, and interpreted. But interpretation does not equal truth. Can we, as observers, truly claim to know what happened beyond the frames of carefully angled videos and selectively shared images? Consider the sources that have fueled this narrative: short clips on TikTok, fan-captured moments on YouTube, rapid-fire posts on Twitter, and reports from various entertainment media. Each of these platforms thrives on speed, visibility, and emotional impact. But in this constant rush to capture the moment, how many details are lost, altered, or exaggerated? When we watch a 15-second clip of Jin walking through the terminal, are we seeing the full scope of reality, or merely a fragment chosen to evoke a specific reaction? Is it possible that the intensity surrounding this arrival has been magnified beyond proportion for the sake of online engagement? It is tempting, almost instinctive, for fans and media alike to assume significance in every detail: a glance, a pause, a specific piece of clothing. Yet this instinct must be tempered with the understanding that public figures often operate in layered contexts. What if the monochrome attire and uncharacteristically measured expressions were not indicators of a hidden plan, but simply choices made for comfort, privacy, or even coincidence? Could it be that we are constructing meaning where none was intended? Or conversely, could this entire display be a meticulously orchestrated sequence designed to stir exactly the kind of speculation we are now engaging in? We must also confront the possibility of manipulation, not necessarily by the artist himself, but by the machinery surrounding him. Public relations strategies, media timing, and selective access to information are tools that have been employed in the entertainment industry for decades. Could the heightened security, the seemingly choreographed escort, and the unreachable demeanor be elements of a narrative meant to elevate Jin's mystique at this particular moment? If so, are we willing participants in a performance crafted to keep the spotlight fixed precisely where the industry wants it? The emotional responses from those at the airport, ranging from elation to confusion, further complicate the picture. Human emotion is raw and genuine, yet it is also easily influenced by context. When hundreds of fans gather in anticipation, emotions amplify. But should our collective emotional reaction be treated as evidence of significance? Or should it be examined as a predictable outcome of fan culture and media spectacle? How do we separate the pure excitement of seeing a beloved artist from the narratives imposed upon that moment by external forces? There is a deeper layer to this conversation: the ethics of consumption in a media-saturated age. When we click on a trending clip, when we share a speculative tweet, when we join a discussion thread analyzing the tilt of a celebrity's head, are we engaging with truth, Or are we feeding into a cycle that rewards sensation over substance? What responsibility do we, as consumers of this information, bear in perpetuating unverified narratives? If the truth turned out to be mundane, would we feel disappointed or relieved? And what would that say about our appetite for drama? Perhaps the most critical question is this: do we truly want the unvarnished truth, or do we prefer the intrigue of mystery? The possibility that Jin's landing was nothing more than a routine return home might feel anticlimactic. Yet, is our dissatisfaction with the ordinary driving us to accept, even crave, speculative versions of events that may not hold up under scrutiny? If that is the case, are we not complicit in blurring the lines between reality and performance? The fact remains that the information surrounding this arrival comes from fragmented, unverified sources. We have yet to see comprehensive, corroborated reporting. Until that happens, the responsible stance is one of caution. This does not mean silencing discussion. Rather, it means anchoring discussion in the awareness that what we know now is provisional. To believe without questioning is to risk being misled. To question without bias is to preserve the integrity of our understanding. So, we return to you, the reader and viewer. Will you take this event at face value, trusting that the collective buzz reflects reality? Or will you acknowledge the possibility that this is a calculated moment designed to seize attention in an overcrowded news cycle? In an era where the boundaries between fact and spectacle are increasingly porous, perhaps the most radical act is not to choose sides immediately, but to hold space for doubt until the truth can be verified. Only then can we claim to understand not just what happened when BTS's Jin landed in Korea, but why it happened the way it did.